Hey, my friends, this is Vineet, and today we have Hema Raman on HEX Star interview. Hema graduated from 10 weeks of HEX intensives, and she's got amazing result. It's a story of amazing transformation. Hema, welcome you on HEX Star, and so happy to see you here. Tell us, how has been the experience for the last 10 weeks for you?
Pleasure is all mine, Vineet. Thank you so much. Thank you for being part of this program, and thank you for being the guide and mentor. If at all we've seen any kind of results or any kind of transformation, at least personally for me, I owe it all to you and Deepthi and my pal Chitra as well, because about when I started way back on in August. It was I started like as an experiment because I thought, okay, we've gone through so many different programs. I've also seen a lot of nutritionists before, and this is going to be just another. Even though I heard your master class and all those, right? I've read your book also by then. And then I realized, these are things that others probably can. Let me see what kind of magic he can weave on me. That was the kind of expectations with which I joined. The first initial week when I joined, obviously it was the honeymoon period, so I was all mighty kicked in, and I thought, okay, let's do this, let's do that. He would probably ask me to do, 100 number of things and all those. And then when we started, I was very surprised to say, okay, there's nothing much that you guys have to do. Just breathe, just have water. I was like, well, I don't think I'm even going to achieve anything over here, but it's fun. Let's continue. But as weeks progressed, and as I started moving into this program, and as I started seeing people who are very similar to me in a lot of aspects, but who are still, going through battling different kind of problems and diseases and all those. And when I saw them having not a complete, what to say, an X from what I was yesterday to what I am today is completely different, nothing like that. But when I started seeing them taking the process of transformation, and when I started believing, and when I started seeing my own self, where my energy levels started picking up, and where I slowly started to move in, that is when my belief in the system actually strengthened better. And I started feeling, yes, there is something that I can take control over, and I definitely can put in my step, and I can achieve what I can. Probably in about 3 4 weeks into the program, with your guidance and with the support system that was in place, that was put in place for Hex, and the kind of small minuscule things that you had thought about, and how we could actually go about building into a system. I think I started believing in that system, and I started being part of that system. And over the course of 10 weeks, I really started enjoying it, and I started looking forward to it. Every other call from you, the morning videos that we received from you, it was nothing but a shot of positivism that actually made us look forward to in that day. And yeah, the experience so far has been nothing short of a miracle, at least for me.
That's amazing to hear from you. In fact, I do remember Hima when you were filling your goal sheet, right? And uh, there were the few objectives that we kind of finalized. This is what you should be achieving by the end of 10 weeks. Can you tell us what have been your top three results, or how has been your goal sheet looking now after 10 weeks?
Yeah. When I started the program, I had a few ailments as well. I had a frozen shoulder problem. I had a cervical spondylitis. And obviously, all my vital parameters, given my family conditions and all, were telling me that I was heading for a disaster. Not only just my weight was slightly overweight, but then there were a lot of other lifestyle ailments that I was battling with, specifically my cholesterol, diabetes, and well, I'm pre-diabetic, but and my energy levels. I could hardly, what to say, concentrate for about 2 hours in a day without being tired. And there was not a single day where I have not slept in the afternoons. Uh, and though I was in content development space, I could never write anything, not even email. Let's face it that way. In a, what to say, without actually taking a break for at least 3 or 4 times. That was the kind of lifestyle that I was leading through. So when I put in my goal sheet, all I wanted was, in fact, I remember telling you also, Vineet, wait, let's see, all that is magical, but at least I want my energy levels to be restored. If I'm not wrong, that was my first point. And I wanted to live pain free, because every day morning, my condition was in such a bad state that I needed a support system, even to help me with my day to day course, like having a bath, with having to what to say, get up from a chair. To that extent, I needed support at that time. And I had hired a series of support systems for my own self, to help me with the cooking, to help me with managing my family and all those. From then to now, uh, I don't even remember I having the pain anymore. Well, after 6 weeks, I don't realize that I ever had a frozen shoulder now. I'm able to play with my daughter for about 45 minutes, and I'm able to do about 300 sit-ups today, all thanks to you. um, it's been an amazing transformation from where my top three goals that I would say was, I was an insomniac. Okay, I couldn't sleep for more than, let's say, 2 hours in the night, and I used to wake up in the middle of the night and then work then and then go to sleep. It was never what to say, I was never able to concentrate on anything. My focus has improved a lot. My sleep, I now sleep like a baby or like a log, whichever way you call it. I sleep for 6 or 7 hours, but I get up, I feel completely refreshed, and I'm able to handle my entire day. That I would say is the biggest turning point. I owe all my professional success to you, Vineet, personally, because the confidence that I got about my own self when I knew that I was able to achieve my ideal weight at the end of 10th week, that I guess had done incredible things to my overall personality and the way I could carry on with my work, both in my personal sphere as well as professional sphere. Those are the major milestones that I think I would attribute to Hex Intensive.
That's so amazing to hear, and I'm going to ask you a bit more about the ripple effect. But I also am curious to know how's been the energy now. I think I remember we were at 2.5, right? When
Yes.
when when you started the program, how you ended up, and then how about your weight loss? If you could just share
Yeah.
us, yeah, some of the tangible results so that people have a point
Yeah.
of
Okay.
reference.
Well, to start with, I started with an energy vitality score of 2.5. Uh, and a weight of about 75, nearing 75 kgs. At the end of fifth week itself, I started seeing slight bit of improvement. I lost about 2.5, 3 kgs in 6 weeks. And then I thought, okay, maybe, a little bit is working. And not much of an improvement in energy vitality score at the fifth week. I still remember I was falling short of a lot of things, and I don't know what happened. The transformation was like boom, and I didn't realize how it was. And I ended up losing about 8 kgs at the end of 10 weeks, thanks to you. And my energy vitality score from 2.5, I actually I put it as 5, above 5 in my goal sheet, because I thought that was at least realistically possible. And to my own surprise, I my current energy vitality score is at 8. So yeah, which things which I never thought was possible. Tangibly, if I were to understand, the weight reduction has been like, from an overweight BMI of about 27, I moved down, and now my BMI is ideal. My energy scores are amazing. And what more, the best thing that I could feel right now is my day begins at 4 in the morning and it ends at around 11. And if you, I mean, if I have to ask my office colleagues, they say, how do you manage to work at 10:45 in the night as though it is the early morning, and you're so complete bundle of joy and energy and all those. I think it is more to do with the kind of lifestyle that I've adopted myself with after following Hex. And the food that I have right now, or the kind of lifestyle that I have right now, is a major fuel for me to, continue throughout the day without actually feeling, what to say, stressed out or tired, or I feel buoyant, actually, to be honest with. Light and buoyant is what I could say.
Wow, that's amazing. What you've just shared is the high energy life that you've actually started living now.
Absolutely.
And now I actually want to hear from you all that ripple effect that that has started. So tell us a bit more about your professional background, and tell us this high energy life that you are experiencing now. What all impact it has done in your professional life, in your relationship, in every sphere of life.
Well, I should say Hex has been a transformation from where I started to where I am. Working freelance for 14 years and now going back into mainstream work, and being a mom of two children, with one child being actively into professional sports. I've had a very stressful life in the past. And after taking up Hex, I realized that my energy levels could cope up in such a fashion that I started seeing success in every sphere that I tried. And that had actually had a lot of ripple effects, if I have to use the same term that you had said, Vineet. Where I started seeing the improvement was, there were times when people used to call me auntie, who are now calling me with my name. So that is a big deal. Now and Simple things like, when I professionally started. No, that makes a big difference, right? Especially when you are in your middle age and somebody is calling me. And there was a time when me and my daughter went and somebody mistook me for her sister, and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
know.
And you also
It's
did post about your old wardrobe, right? That
yeah.
they were
Yes.
too loose, right? You have to actually
No, actually, the thing was, I've been married for 20 years now.
okay,
And my attires that we use for weddings, right? Your saris and your blouses and all those.
correct.
After my first year of wedding, I've never used them. It just lies there and it was packed. And last month, I had to go for a function. My husband said, why don't you try one of them? I said, no, they're not going to fit me. And then I tried them. To my utter dismay, they were almost like 4, 5 sizes loose. And I had to literally get all of them altered now. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening to me? That kind of, difference, I have never experienced that.
Correct.
Yes, as far as my wardrobe is concerned now, well, the ripple effect of it is now I'm spending a lot more on my clothes because I had to go back 2 sizes smaller now. I was
Correct.
in double XL when I started, and now I'm a medium, and I'm sure I'm going to move further.
Yes.
But yeah, the size wise, there has been a change. This It's not just about how you look, right? It's also about how you feel from inside, your confidence and your ability to manage things. Where I feel a lot more loved now, a lot more respected, and I feel confident about my own self to be able to go. About 3 months back, if somebody had asked me, I would have never switched on my camera for any of the interviews. Because I was ashamed of seeing my own self, in front of a camera, in front of that kind of confidence in your own ability, in your, confidence to be able to go and talk to somebody and all those. Those were missing because you never felt sure about who you are or how you felt and all those. Those were things that made a big, big, big difference when I started joining. My relationship with my family, my extended family, especially if you are into a traditional South Indian, typical vegetarian family like mine, the expectations from, let's say, a daughter-in-law, daughter, sister, and all in the family is huge. As a mom as well is huge, because people expect you to behave in a certain fashion, and your energy needs to be really top notch to be able to fulfill that. Initially, there were a lot of problems because of my loss of energy. I wasn't able to do. I started feeling very irritated, and there's this ripple effect of shouting at people, nagging, and all those. And slowly, as my energy started building, and I realized that a lot of things which I could do myself, I wasn't able to do during the start of the program. And now I don't even expect anybody else to tell me. I automatically take things, so automatically that love factor is like, what is happening to my wife? What's happening to my mom? She's doing everything. And now she's not even complaining that I'm throwing things and all those. Slowly it started improving the relationship at home. And suddenly I started being from, that, what to say, dictator mom to a loving mom.
Absolutely. What you
It's
just
been a
shared is
difference.
so powerful, Hema, because what we all feel that it's a relationship issue, but if you actually dig it down, it's an energy issue. It's an energy
Absolutely
issue.
agree. It's more about your ability to do, and your physical energy to be able to strive into that, which I think has greatly improved with most of the relationship. And it's not just about energy. I think the more the energy that you have, the more peace you are with yourself. So you don't tend to micromanage and make sure that those small things that used to be blown out of proportion, now it no longer matters. I'm like, it's not a big deal, let's do it ourselves. It's not a big deal, we can definitely get the ability to forgive people, the ability to love them. I think is more when your energy levels are better. And that has made a big improvement in my personal life. My professional sphere, oh my god, I don't know what to say. I started in a position which is about 10 levels below after a 14 years break, when I had taken up my full time position. Obviously, because my confidence in my own ability was very low at that time. And I was not sure whether I can work 8 hours non-stop. So I didn't want to take up a position which is very high where I would not be able to do justice and all those. And initial 3 months when I was not in Hex, that's when I joined. After 3 months of joining my job is when I took up Hex. Initially, I felt very tiring, and I was almost about to resign because I felt I cannot do justice to my role. And I joined you, Vineet. And then slowly I said, okay, let's try and improve our health first, because I was in a lot of pain at that time. I couldn't sit and type for a long time. So there were a lot of issues, like, things that I had to work in 8 hours. I used to end up working almost throughout the day, trying to complete things and all those. And about 3 weeks into the program, I started realizing my energy levels were good enough to work for 5 hours at a stretch. And then it became 8. And then I realized that, I really didn't even need those 8 hours to complete. I was able to complete it in 6 hours.
Wow.
So it was like, the trajectory was amazing. And right now, from what to say, an executive or a sub executive level, now I've reached the top management level in my company in a span of just about 6 months. If this is not transformation, then I don't know what else is. So it's like, literally, I had given this example during one of our classes also. When I started with, I write storyboards, I write persona driven storyboards as part of my job. My first journey took me about 3 months to complete. And at the 10th week, after I almost completed my Hex intensive, I wrote 6 stories in one day. So that is the kind of difference that I'm talking about. And I had a pay hike of about 200% from my job. And I was promoted in about 6 months. And I received a quarterly recognition awards from my company. Professionally, I'm in an amazing space, and I think it can't be better than this. So yes, professionally also, I have achieved quite a lot with my difference in the way I feel and my energy levels here, all thanks to the program.
Phenomenal, Hema. I think this is amazing, and I'm sure people who are watching this, if this is a point of reference, it is you're completely unstoppable now. More power to you,
Thank you.
Hema. Quickly
Thank
want
you.
to take your personal pick about the program. There are so many system and processes in the program that we have Is there anything which you like the most? What's your personal favorite?
Well, it's difficult to single out because every bit of this program, I think, was a lot of strategy that was in place. I'm sure you would have thought about every minuscule tactics when you really thought about it, because you kind of envisaged where and all we can go bad, and you started putting in place systems to improve exactly that point, exactly that pain point you had addressed. Those were things that were amazing about this program, Vineet. Personally, if you were to ask me what actually helped me, I should attribute to be a pal, because when you have to face this journey together with a person who has very similar background, who's had similar challenges like you, who also goes through the same kind of trajectory, and you're able to relate to them on a personal level, I think the entire what to say dynamics of the program gets shifted, right? Because it's like, you're no longer alone, you have a person. And if you're facing any struggle, you always have a person to handhold you. Those were things that actually helped me. My pal was something that I enjoyed. Weekly wins, if you're able to celebrate every small thing that comes up in your life. I normally feel this. I've had this from my father, who always says, early morning when you wake up, give at least three compliments to three people whom you meet, not because they deserve, because you deserve it. Because when you start seeing, when you start talking nice things, when you start appreciating the positive things in people, automatically positive things comes back to you.
True.
And it couldn't have been better than this, because when we started looking forward to that weekly wins, celebrating our weekly wins on a Friday, and trying to receive that bit of, okay, I deserve this kind of a feeling, automatically you become so kicked up and you're so positive about, your own enjoyment. Those were something that I really loved. And the goodie box chit, because there were days when you really feel you will not be able to achieve, and this is not something that is easy and all those. And suddenly you realize that, you take those shit bags and you sit and read, and I'm like, is this me? Did I write this? And suddenly I'm like, yeah, not bad, I can definitely follow up. If I was able to follow up my commitment for 1 week, why not it? And automatically it kind of, puts you back into the system. Those were things that actually made me feel, personally I felt very empowered seeing that. Obviously the do not break the change calendar and all those were very good, but top three things that I would say is my pal, my obviously Deepthi, because she was a mentor come guide come friend come philosopher come whatever you can say. And my weekly wins were something that I really enjoyed, and the goodie box chat, I think that made a big difference to this program compared to anything else, because it made us feel that we can achieve. And that's where there's a difference.
That's amazing to hear from you, yeah, Hema, about the program experience. Also, lastly, tell us if you have to rate this program on a scale of 1 to 10, how much you would rate it and why?
Can I say 11? Is that possible? Yeah. I would possibly rate it 10 on 10, Vineet. There are few reasons why I say this. There are other programs which I'm sure could have achieved weight loss. But where we found that this is different is, this is not just a weight loss program. It is more in terms of, a transformation of your lifestyle habits. That habit changing is something, it is very difficult. See, you put us in a simulated environment and say, okay, you're expected to behave like this for the next, let's say, 1 week or 10 days. It is something that is possible. You can kind of, push yourself and try and achieve that weight loss, and then say, yes, I have done that and all those. Okay. Maybe even if you go to a gym, the first 5 kgs, if you reduce, you feel like, yeah, what's a big deal? I've done all that and it's
Right.
amazing and all those. But where the difference is with this program, I found that the habits that we picked up from this is not something that will die down after the 10 weeks. This is something that you're going to carry with you. Maybe, if not completely, but at least, 80% of what you have learned, because the knowledge that is being imparted in this program, the kind of reason, because when somebody says, do this, okay, yaar, chalo, wo bol raha hai, we'll do it. that kind of an attitude. Instead of doing that, if you're giving us the reason behind why you should do this, what is the ripple effect, why you should actually, those weekly documentaries that we saw, and it all made complete sense in terms of trying to fit out the missing pieces in our life. And now when we take some decisions with regards to our life changing habits, be it our eating habits or the way we sleep or the way we actually interact with people
Right.
in every sphere of your life, I think these are habits that have actually transformed. And that transformation is something, see, when you're doing something for somebody's sake, it's a different thing than actually you trying to make sure that no, these are things that I want to achieve, these are things that I want to do. Automatically the transformation is there for you for the throughout the life. There's
Correct.
not somebody, you don't need an external force to come back and say, okay, now you'll have to get back on track. You automatically feel that, because this is a habit that I enjoyed and I look forward to that and I want to continue doing that. That kind of consistency is built in already. And that is where I think this program has been amazing. And yeah, my rating would definitely be more than 10. I don't think you can restrict that.
That's so awesome to hear from you, Hema. Lastly, if there is another possible Hema watching this, if there is a if there is a student watching it first time, he or she is not very sure, some skeptical, bit doubt whether this will actually work, whether this program will really be a good ROI for me. What's your message to another possible Hema who is watching it?
To all out there, I can say, if you are trying to take up a decision where you want to control the bits of life that you can, okay, let me be very honest, nothing beats more than your health. And there are times when I started taking up this program, financially it was a big drain for me. I should be very honest, it was not an easy decision for me at all. Not just about the money, but also about my commitment to the program. Initially when I had to start, I had to think about hundreds of different things in terms of whether my family will accept this, whether I will get the required support, and all those. But what actually made this program something that I could relate was, here is one program which actually appreciates your progress and not your perfection. So here is one place where you are allowed to make your own baby steps, take one at a time, focus on one issue at a stretch, and then try and reach where you want to go. So yes, as Vineet had you had rightly said, Vineet, it is a little, I took it up with a little bit of skepticism when I started with. And I felt, okay, writing all this as a goal sheet, or aspiring for something and all is great, but I don't think I would be able to do it consistently. And it will be a little difficult for us to go through. But where I realized here is, you are allowed to make your mistakes that you do. You are allowed to deviate from the path that you are actually expected, and still get back on track, because there is a system over there which is so positive and so amazingly motivating that you can actually go back and say. And the kind of let's say the environment here, where you're free to actually go talk about your issues and see how others who are going through similar issues are also dealing with. And then there is a small insight, probably you could have changed, probably this is something that we could do, and all those. And slowly you would see that those probabilities are the things that actually changed your life and where you are. So if in my own personal case, during the third and the fourth week, I had a family emergency due to which I could not do any of those that was told. I mean, I knew that my batchmates were way ahead of me. They were all talking about, I've achieved X amount of weight loss, my energy levels have peaked up X and all those. And here I was at the base camp, trying to figure out how to actually go about doing this and all those. But then I realized by 10th week, I am actually on the other side of the summit, trying to, motivate people like me. So if I can do it, I'm sure any of you can do. So please don't even think anything. This is the best investment that you could do on your health. That's my only word for you, Vineet.
Such a powerful message from you, Hema. If this is not transformation, as you rightly said, then what is it? You've been a serious student, you took action, you got the results, and then you're the achieved star. If you have the trophy, you want to show your
Yes.
trophy.
Yeah.
So no
So
worries.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's my trophy. I regard this as the biggest, what to say, recognition. It was really, really thrilling that, after so many years, we could actually feel like a star, and somebody has actually received it, and you really feel recognized and acknowledged. It's amazing, and I would always treasure this throughout my life.
100% earned by you, Hema, 100% deserved by you. And personally, I want to tell this to you. It was my pleasure to actually invite you on HEX Star Interview. Such a powerful story that you had, such an amazing transformation. When you were enrolling into the program, I always said that being a role model is what this program, and I think you've been a true example now of being a role model. Becoming a point of reference for so many other Hemas and telling them what is possible in their lives. So one more time, thank you so much to come on the HX Star interview, and it was my pleasure to interview you.
I should say thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm humbled by all the love and positivism from all my Hexmates. Thank you so much, and I'm only wishing that the journey continues, and I try and inspire more people like you. And it's more than inspiration. I see. I mean, it's more than preaching. I would say people see you, and then they automatically know what you are, and automatically the ripple effect goes in. And I only wish that I'm able to pass on the ripple effect for a lot more people like me. um, for those out there who are thinking about how you could actually take control of your life situation, be it whether it's your energy levels, or your weight, or your what to say, lifestyle conditions that you are suffering from, this is one kind of a transformation in your life. I would not call this as a weight loss journey alone. Weight loss is just a product of this. This is a kind of lifestyle transformation and a high energy transformation, which I'm sure it will have its effect, a very, very positive and an outstanding effect in every aspect of your life, which I think you should try without actually thinking about any other consequences at all.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thanks a lot, Vineet. Thank you.